Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm doing a sponsored solo playthrough of Primal: The Awakening with the new Heart of the Wild and Goldarks Biome expansions. This video is sponsored by publisher Reggie Games. They paid me to make this video to inform you of Primal Friday 2025, which begins on November 17th on their website, www.reggiegames.com. I'll include a link in the description below. This Black Friday sale features huge discounts and new bundles, but also you'll be able to pre-order all the new Primal expansions, including 5 biome expansions, more nightmare cards, new organizers to store all your cards, and the Heart of the Wild expansion that includes 2 new hunters. In this video, I'm playing with both new hunters, Zaraya the Spear and Drusk the Wardrum. I'm also using a new biome, Goldarks, which introduces special rules to the fight, and I'm battling a monster from the base game that I've never faced before, Tarragua. So this is going to be a lot of new firsts for me, and it should be very exciting. If you don't know how Primal works, please go watch my first playthrough video, where I go over all the rules in detail as I play. In this video, I'm going to focus on the new rules introduced by these expansions. Now I went ahead and I got everything set up for a solo game. This is going to be a level 1 fight, since I'm very much a beginner and not very good. Zaraya will be the first to go. She has a special ability known as Pierce, where she can unleash devastating piercing attacks, but her Pierce level must be built up over the course of the fight. It's tracked right here, 0 to 4. Anytime she plays 2 consecutive blue maneuver cards, her Pierce level increases by 1. Once it maxes out at 4, she can perform a Pierce attack by playing any red attack card and replacing the base damage of her weapon with the Pierce damage of the weapon, which is shown right below it. You can see here in the case of her level 1 Molten Shard, she'll do 12 damage instead of 4. Her Molten Shard also lets her increase the damage by 1 for every other red attack card in your sequence. This power actually combos pretty nicely with the Goldarks Biome. So first, this is a double-sided neoprene mat. On the other side is the Thunder Mountains biome, which has its own set of new rules. And that's how all of the other 5 biome expansions work. It's actually 10 new biomes altogether. But in the Goldarks, the voice of the awakened echoes through the mountain valleys, empowering both the monsters and the hunters. So that means in rounds 2, 5, 8, 9, and 10, which you can see are highlighted on the time track, all damage is doubled. Both damage dealt and damage received. But you got to keep in mind that when you inflict a wound to the monster during these rounds, you have to ignore any excess damage. So it's really important to time your attacks just right. That double damage combined with Zaraya's Pierce ability could lead to instant wounds, which is really cool. Now, Tarragua does have Shield of 1. That's going to reduce every attack by 1. Otherwise, it's pretty standard fare. He's resistant, which just means that when he goes over to a new stance, we can't carry over damage. And then we can attack him everywhere but his front. He's doing 1 damage to us, and he'll change stances once he gets to 6 wounds. Great, I think we can get started and explain the rest of the rules as we play. I think we will start with the consume phase because I want Zaraya to use her Impera. So we're going to suffer damage equal to our weapon level, which is 1, and draw 2 cards. Okay, I think Drusk is okay. He'll wait. Tarragua gets 2 struggle tokens. And now Zaraya's going to move. I think we'll play that to move. I think she's going to go hide behind this rock. That rock's really cool. If we were to suffer attrition damage, we could just remove the rock instead. We'll wait until we get into those double damage rounds in order to do that. And now we're ready to start playing. I think we're going to start with our red scale helm. As an action, we can discard the top card of our deck, and if it's red, we get to take it into our hand. Oh, look at that. We can do that once per turn, so that's amazing. Ooh, and now we have a lot of different things we could do. I think we want to start by doing a flanking strike. Now this has the keyword guard on it. And if we check out our handy dandy player raid, it says that when another player in your sector or in an adjacent one plays a defensive card, you may discard a card with the guard keyword from your hand to reduce the stamina cost of that by 0. This effect can be used once per turn. So that's something we're going to need to keep in mind during Drusk's turn. But we're going to be playing this one, and it says that if you are in a flank sector, which we are, deal your weapon damage. Has a 0 cost, and our weapon damage is 4. As you can see there, we need to deal 12 in order to get a wound. And now because that was a blue card, we get to eliminate a struggle. I think I now want to play Long Reach, and I'll discard this for the stamina cost. Long Reach says that this card counts as a defensive card during the attrition check. Other than that, though, it's going to take away that last struggle. And as I said, when we play 2 of these maneuver cards, we get to increase our pierce track. So we're going to really try to build that up. In fact, let's just get a third one of those out. This is a little bit of a waste, but we're going to get that pierce track up. It costs 1. It's got reclaim on it, and then it shows 2 yellow cards. That means that when it's in our discard pile, if we play 2 yellow cards to our sequence, we can then actually take that card out of the discard pile and put it back in our hand. So that's pretty crazy. A bunch of Zaraya's cards have that. And now I have these 2 attack cards left, and I could play it. I think I'm going to hold on to it. Oh, and I forgot. Shield of 1. So it only takes 3 damage, not 4. Now I'm thinking maybe I won't hold on to this. Maybe I will play it. Yeah, you know what the heck? We're going to play this. So that costs 2. We can pay for it with this. Sentinel's Lunge has another reclaim. Oh, and I forgot. I'm forgetting all sorts of things here. Another 2 blue there, so we increase this 1 more. Perfect. This power isn't going to go off because we didn't meet that condition. But our gauntlet here does go off. It says that when you play a red card, and if you paid with an attack, or with like an offensive card, you increase the damage of the attack by 2. 2 plus 4, 6, minus 1 for the shield. 5 damage. So we need 4 more to cause a wound, but that's a pretty good start. Oh, and look at this. We emptied our hand, and so because of our thunder armor here, when you empty your hand, deal 3 damage, minus 1, 2 more. So that's going to be 10. All right, now we go to the attrition phase, and that means, I think, when the attrition phase ends, yes, so that behavior card is going to go off at the end of the attrition phase. 2, wow. So we got whacked. So that's going to be a damage. And now this goes off. Crushing Horns. If Tarragua suffered damage this turn, each player in the front and flank sectors suffer a damage unless they reveal 2 green cards from their hand. Well, Zaraya obviously can't do that, so they're taking another damage. And nope, no green cards. Get 5 more cards. Okay, now it's Drusk's turn. And now at the very end, the monster is going to turn to the aggro player. And that's when that behavior goes off. That means anytime they change orientation. Hammertail. Each player in the rear sector suffers damage unless they discard a green card from their hand. Okay, no one's in the rear. Each threatened player in the flank sectors suffer, and we don't have a threatened player. Cool, so we avoided that. Now it's Drusk's turn. Now let's talk about Drusk for a second, because he is a Wardrum. He's very much a support character. He has kind of two abilities. First, he has something called Rhythm, and that's what this track is all about. He gets to increase his rhythm level every time he discards a card that is the same type, the same color, as the top card in the discard pile. Then, once his rhythm level is up to 2, he can spend it in order to inspire another player when they're doing an attack. So when they play a red attack card, he can inspire. If his rhythm's at 2, he adds 2 to the damage. If it's at 3, he adds 6 to the damage. Now, the second thing he has is something called Resonate. And this is a keyword that's written on a bunch of his cards. Anytime in your sequence, if you play 2 resonance cards, one right after the other, you'll get to double the ability of the card you just played. It lets you basically activate the second card twice. Now, Drusk has a couple of different things that have the start keyword on it. With his crystal armor, it says that if he has 3 or more cards in his hand that are the same color, then he gets to draw a card. And he does. He has 3 red cards. So he'll get to draw a card. And then the spined helm lets him do a recycle 1, which basically just means discarding a card from your hand and then drawing a card. So let's see here. Is there anything he wants to discard? Yeah, he'll discard that and draw a card. Now, does he want to move? No, I think he's going to stay right where he is. So he's going to get a threatened. Yeah, he's going to start by playing this card. Sundering Impact. He's not focused yet, so he doesn't get to do that, but it is a resonance card. And that's going to cost him 1. He's going to discard Rousing Rhythm. So there we go. We have a match. So that's going to increase his rhythm. And then Rousing Rhythm says that when you discard this card from your hand, pick a player to draw a card. So he'll pick Zaraya. That is going to give him the aggro token. And unfortunately, he doesn't hit very hard. So he's only going to hit for 2. -1, just 1. We're now going to play Resounding Strike. We're going to discard this card, another match, more rhythm. This lets him increase the damage by his weapon level. That symbol means by your weapon levels, which is 1. So he's actually going to do 3 -1, so 2 damage. 1 gets him to 12. We convert it into a wound. And then there's 1 left over. And now, because we have Resonance and Resonance, we get to do this card again. So we get to do another 3 damage -1. So 2. Oh, and of course, I forgot to do this. 1 second. Rampaging Horns. Tarragua turns to the active player. That player may immediately move. No, I won't move. I'll stay here, I think. Will I move? No. As you probably realize, I actually have to move, because otherwise I'd be in the front sector and unable to play my attack cards. But don't worry, I realized this mistake and fix it in just a few minutes. So that would have been like that. This only goes off if you start your turn at the mouth, so I think we're fine. I'm now going to play this card and discard this one. Awaken Fury, it says to just increase your rhythm by 1. Bam! So we have maxed out our rhythm. That's awesome. And we'll get to do one more little dinky hit. And we get to place a mark on our mastery card. Anytime we place 2 cards with resonance, we get to place a mark on there. And we only need 2 to flip it over. So we're halfway done there. Now we are threatened, so we're going to have to do 2 of these and pick the worst. 1. All right. So we're taking damage. And there we go. That's the end of the first round. Okay, hold on. We have to go back for a second. This won't change much, but I just realized a goof. Obviously, I have to move when he faces me because I can't attack him in the front. So these were the cards. He turned to face me after this card, right? So I would have moved. I would have used one of the blue cards so I could keep my rhythm up. But I would have had to play this card in order to play this one. So I wouldn't have been able to play this card. So I would draw one less card. That would go down by one, and that would be one less hit. I would be over here. Now, because of the fog, I would still be threatened, so I would have still gotten hit by attrition. That's really the only thing that changes. But then we have this plateau. So at the end of my turn, I would have the choice of whether or not to go onto that plateau. I think I will. So you just place your figure on the plateau. Now, at some point, if a behavior card is activated, I can jump onto that behavior card, canceling that behavior card, essentially jumping onto the monster, and then I have to do a ride check. I'll show you how a ride check works if it happens. But for now, we're up there. The monster will turn to face me at the very end, and then that's the end of the round. There we go. So these go into my discard. So only got to rhythm 2, unfortunately. I'm glad we caught that. So let's see if we want to take any potions here. Now we are now in round 2, so this is the double round. So I think we might want to take this in order to get +3 damage. Because then my weapon would be doing 7, and 7 times 2, that'd be an automatic wound. Again, remember, it won't carry over. That's the thing. But still, that seems worthwhile. Although we could save it. Maybe it makes sense to save it. We just need 9 more damage for another wound. Maybe we'll save it till he goes into his stance 2. I think Drusk will take a damage to draw 2 cards. And now Drusk becomes first player, because he has the aggro. First, though, we remove this one. And he is starting in the front, so this is going to go off. Metal Skin. Tarragua's shield value is increased by 1 until the end of this turn. Okay, he could leap on that, but I don't think so. I think we're going to let that go through. So now he has a shield of 2. I'll put a little mark here to remind myself of that. Oh. Now this goes off. Oh, we also should have given him 2 struggle. So this, I think, is called a Rampage card. So that goes off if another behavior card goes off. This is aggressive posture. Tarragua gains 1 struggle for each player in the front sector. Okay, 1 more struggle. I think we'll allow that to go through too. Okay, and then we got to shuffle the behavior deck, and they get a struggle. Maybe I should have canceled that shield one, but I don't know. I think we're okay. He didn't do any damage. That's all I really care about. Okay, so now at the beginning of your turn, you jump off the plateau. And we are going to have to move. So let's see here. Okay, I think we'll discard that to move. Now we do have 3 colors. So we get to draw a card. Or I should say 3 of the same color. And now we can do a recycle. Okay, I'll recycle that. I think we're ready for this. So let's start with Voice of the Primordials. It's free. It lets us draw a card and then discard a card. We'll remove that one. And now we want to play Warbeat. That costs 1. But I think Zaraya is going to try to guard. Oh, she doesn't have guard. Well, she has backlash, but I think she wants to hold on to that to do damage. Although, yeah, she will do that. She'll guard. So when a player in your sector and adjacent sector plays a defensive card, you can discard a card with guard on it, and that reduces the cost to 0. Now, when she discards backlash, she gets to draw a card. Ooh, and that's another red card, so that's good. So that cost is 0. We're going to remove 1 struggle. And we have resonance here. So, boom, we're going to remove another struggle. That's a second mark on Thundering Drum. And so that means he's focused it. Thundering Drum. You may taunt the monster by discarding a card with resonance from your hand. Start. If you have a card with resonance in your hand, search your discard pile for another card with resonance and add it to your hand. All right, cool. That's fun. Yeah, we'll first play this. I'll remove one of those. We do have to pay for it. We'll pay for it with this, Rhythmic Insight. When you discard this card from your hand, choose a player to recycle 1. So we'll let Zaraya recycle 1. I think she'll get rid of that. Draw 1. Now we're going to play Rhythmic Smash. That's going to cost 2, so he'll discard that. That's Drums of Vengeance. When you discard this card from your hand, your weapon gets plus weapon level, so in our case 1 damage, until the end of the round. So our weapon's now at 3. Rhythmic Smash lets us choose another player, and that player and you get to draw 1 card. And then we're doing 3 damage. But because we're in round 2, it's doubled. So we're doing 6 damage minus 2, 4 damage. So that's going to be 7 total. And then I think our last card that we're going to play is Awakened Fury. We'll discard that to pay for it. Increase your rhythm level by 1. Boom. Oh, wait, I forgot. The Accented Blow, because we played this, it increased our attack by 2. So we were doing 3, 2, 5, so 10 minus 2. We were doing 8 rather than 4. So that's actually 4 more. So that's 11. So we're actually 1 away from another wound. I'm now actually wondering if I apply the shields before the doubling. And I'm not sure. It reads that whenever a player or monster suffers damage, that damage is doubled. So that's leading me to believe that maybe the shields block first and then the damage is doubled. So here, we're getting a +1 to 3, and then this was giving us a +2. So we were doing 5 damage, but minus 2 because of the shield. So that's 3. Then that would be doubled to 6. So they should have 9 here. I think that's probably the correct way of doing it. I'm not 100% sure, but that's going to be the way that doesn't work in our favor. Okay, now we've played this one. We're not getting that, but we are getting the +1. So this is 3 minus 2. So that's 1 damage doubled to 2. So now they're at 11. So they're 1 short of getting a wound, which is really annoying because we're going to do a damage and none of it's going to count because it's not going to get passed over. Oh, but I do see something we can do here because when we've maxed out our rhythm, we can activate this special ability on our Nocturne Drum. It says that we get to look at the top card of our deck, and if it has resonance on it, we get to add it to our hand. Nope, it doesn't. So now we get to decide if we want to add it to the discard pile or put it underneath. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this at the bottom of the deck. Well, that didn't work out so well. I should have probably canceled that extra shield. But now it's time for the attrition phase. Two, but we're covered because we have 2 there. Gonna draw. We only have 3 cards. So we got to shuffle this. And we're going to take a damage. Oh no, I guess we take 2 damage, right? Yeah, everything's doubled. Ugh. This is not going well. Then turns, and that's gonna activate that one. Hammertail. Each player in the rear sector. Nope, no one's in the rear sector. Each threatened player. We don't have a threatened player. Great. Now Zaraya, I think, just wants to stay here and get threatened, although let's look here in our discard pile because I'm sure we have some reclaims. So we could reclaim that. Yes, this is what we want. If we play 2 green or 2 yellow. Does she want to move? No, I don't think she does. She's going to stay here, get threatened. That's fine. We can use the rock to protect us against attrition also, so I'm going to have to be too worried about it. Okay, so one thing I noticed, we did guard, so we do get a marker on this every time we guard. We just need 1 more marker, and we'll use our helm, see if it's a red card. It's not. I think we will start with this quick strike. That's going to do enough damage. 2 times 2, that's 4. So, and none of it's going to carry over. So we're going to get rid of all of that and get a wound. Now I want to do sudden dash. It's not going to do anything, but it's free. I then want to do precise step. Once again, free. It'll increase damage by 2 for the next card. But, boom, we can reclaim. So there we go. That's it. But I now want to play that card. I will discard this for the 2. The only thing is if I pay with this, maybe I won't discard this one. Yeah, I'll pay with these 2. So I can activate my gauntlet. So I can increase the damage by 2. And that's increasing the damage by 2. And then Sentinel's Lunge says, increase the damage this attack deals by 1 for each card with guard in your discard pile. And we are meeting that condition. So it's a max of 5. So let's see how many guards we have in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's max of 5. So that's a +5. So we're +4, +5, +9, and then this is +1. So we're actually +10. So we're doing 14 damage, -2, that's 12, and then doubled to 24. So we do a wound, and none of it carries over. Still, that's a pretty good slam. And now let's just round this off with Graceful Stride. We'll play that. There's no reason to use that, unfortunately. I wish I had another attack, then I could use that +6. But we don't need it. It's okay, we can use it next round. It's not a big deal. This says if you're in a flank sector, we can remove 1 struggle. So bam. And once again, gosh, I'm forgetting to do that. Raging Horns, yep, turns to the active player. That player may immediately move. All right. So I would have had to immediately move. We did this again. Actually, instead of her moving, when that happened, right, which would have been right here, I would have Drusk taunt. He'll play this card here to taunt. That lets him take the aggro, and the monster turns towards him. Okay, so that happened right here. Then she kept playing. She got the aggro back. She's going to keep being threatened. And then that way can keep playing all of that. Okay, that clears it up. I'll try not to keep forgetting these. Cool, so that was all the cards. Attrition. She should be covered. Yep, we got 3 out there, so we're good there. Now, after the attrition phase, this goes off. Crushing Horns. If Tarragua suffered damage this turn, each player in the front and flank sector suffered damage unless they reveal 2 green cards. So here's what we're going to do for this. Drusk is going to play his Skeletal Spear. And that says that when a behavior card is revealed, you may exhaust this card if you are in front sector. If you do, deal 7 damage and cancel the effect of that behavior card. So we're going to exhaust this. We're canceling the effect of that card. Oh, I also realized my Thunder Armor would deal 3 damage because I got rid of all my cards. -2, so that's 1 doubled to 2. And now we're doing 7 -2, that's 5 doubled to 10, which is 12, which is another wound. And now we're at 6 wounds, so we are now going to the next stance. There we go. Now things are happening. So his shields are going to come off. And we also have this permanent effect. When a behavior card with the front mouth reaction is revealed, the active player may discard a red card from their hand. If they do, cancel the effects of that behavior card and inflict vulnerable. Wow, okay. Can you imagine vulnerable on like one of these doubled rounds? Because vulnerable also doubles. That would be an instant wound no matter what. Although we do need to do 14 damage now. And when revealed, Tarragua gains 1 acceleration. So it's going to gain 1 additional struggle during each upkeep. That's not good. And we can only hit it in the flanks. All right. Still only doing 1 damage. That's fine. Okay, so we're drawing 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta shuffle. That's going to be double damage still. So 2. Okay, deal 1 more. We have this, so gonna spin over to us. And that is the end of the round, so this is going to trigger. Indomitable Charge. Each player in the front sector, oh my god, suffers damage ×2 unless they reveal 2 green cards from their hand. Maybe I got lucky. Nope, just 1. So I'm taking 2 damage ×2, that's 4. So all of a sudden, that's 9 damage and I have 11 health. Yikes. Yeah, this has gone south pretty fast. But that is the end of the round. We're going to go to consume, and yes, we are going to consume our Aylmore. That's going to let us get 4 healing. Still at 5 damage, not good. Drusk will do the same. Zaraya gets the first player. Oh, and look what I did. I forgot to take these away. That should have been shuffled into my deck. Hang on. And because of that, he's getting 3 struggle. At the start of her turn, boom, these behaviors are going to go off. Metal Skin. Ugh, this is the +1 shield again. I think we don't want that. So we're going to discard a red card. This is going to let us do that. We cancel the effect of this card, and we inflict vulnerable. So, bam. And now this one, Spidery Grasp. The active player becomes dazed and skips their movement phase this turn, unless another player in either the same sector or an adjacent sector discards an attack card from their hand. Well, once again, she could cancel it. I think Drusk is going to play that and cancel that effect. But there is a boost, so it's going to spend it. The active player suffers damage unless they reveal a number of green cards from their hand equal to the current attrition level, which is 1. We can reveal that. So we're not taking any damage. Wow. We got lucky. We're going to have to shuffle this, so we go right back to 3. We won't move. We'll stay there, but we'll play this. Dashing Leap. That's going to let us move without paying a stamina cost. And we'll get rid of one of those. I don't have the best action cards here, but we will play Flanking Dance. And Drusk will spend... Ooh, actually, wait a minute. -1 is 3. So yeah, we will spend this. So that'll make it 6 and 4. Yep, that's 10 -1. So that'll be 9. And then with Vulnerable, we double it. That's 18 damage. 14 creates a wound. And then there's 4 damage left over. Oh, and we lose our Threatened because we moved. I think we'll use our Helm because we haven't done that yet. Is it red? Oh, it is. Okay, that changes things. Now we can do a quick strike. It's only going to be 3 damage. So that gets us to 7. Oh no, +1. Because of our sword. Lovely. And then I think Drusk is going to assist. That lets the active player draw 1 card. Ooh, that's going to let us do a flanking strike. If we're in the flank, we can deal our weapon damage. So that's going to be 3. So that's 11. And we get to remove one of those. And then I might as well guard. We'll play that to get that out. That's our guard. That doesn't do anything, but it might protect us here from attrition. But when we clear our hand, we get to deal 3 damage. -1, that's 2. That gets us to 13 again. We love being at 13 when we need to get to 14. 1 away from another wound. Drusk can hopefully handle that. That's it. So now attrition. Just 1 card. 0. Beautiful. Now it moves, and that triggers that, and it's going to trigger Rampage. Hammer Tail. Each player in the rear sector, whoops, suffers damage unless they discard a green card from their hand. Yeah, well, we might as well. Each threatened player in the flank sectors suffers damage. Okay, no one's in the flank. And now this. Aggressive posture. Tarragua gains 1 struggle for each player in the front sector. All right. That is not as bad as it could be. It's Drusk's turn, and he's been doing so much helping out. He only has 1 card in his hand. So, what do we do in this situation? Now, the card does have resonance on it. And so, because of his power, I can now search my discard pile for another card with resonance on it and add it to my hand. Ooh. Now, unfortunately, I can't play this card. But I could maybe get some assistance. Now, I will have to move also. So let's move first and foremost. We'll play this to move. No, maybe we'll come over here. I don't know if I want to mess with that plateau, or maybe I do. Yeah, maybe I will mess with the plateau. The only problem is I'll become threatened because of the fog. Now, at the start, I can recycle 1. Might as well. I think I'll discard that one, which... Boom, rhythm. And unfortunately, I think he has to hold on to that card. He can't play it. We could assist, but I don't want to do that, I don't think. So we're just gonna... You know what? Nope, I changed my mind. I'm gonna discard this card, so no rhythm. Now, he's gonna play this card. And Zaraya is going to guard by playing that. That makes that cost a 0. And she gets her Guardian ability. When you guard a player, deal your base weapon damage or draw 1 card. Now Drusk, he becomes threatened and he does get the aggro. And now that's all he can do. But this card does remove 1 struggle. So that is good. Now attrition, we're drawing 2. Okay. Well, he's taken the damage. Just 1. Then at the end of his turn, he is jumping on the plateau. Monster turns toward him. So this card goes off. Hammertail. So there's no one in the rear. And then the flanks. Okay, so we could discard... Oh no, we just have to reveal it. So we can reveal it. So that's no big deal. Now that's the end of the round. So now this one goes off. Indomitable Charge. Each player in the front sector suffers 2 times unless they reveal 2 green cards from their hand. Okay, can do that. If a player does reveal those cards, they must immediately move without paying any stamina cost. Okay, so I could have used the plateau there, but I'm not going to. Now we're both in flanked sectors, and he'll be able to attack. He did move, so he can lose that. And he won't have to move. He can attack right now. He's getting the first player marker, though. Okay, we're hanging in there. I don't think we want to do any consuming. So we're getting 3. That's fine. And now Drusk gets to go. He's not going to move. So it gets threatened. We do have 3 of the same color, so we get to draw a card. Ah, that's what we wanted. We could now recycle. Yeah, I don't really want to spend 2 for that. Now we have some options. Okay, so at the start, actually, so before we did any of that, if we had a residence card in our hand, which we do, we can search for another residence card and add it to our hand. And we have one there. Call of... Oh, we have a lot. Yeah, let's get this Call of the Primordials. All right. Now we're talking. Now we're ready. We're going to do Awaken Fury. We need to pay 1. That's going to let us recycle 1. Or I can choose a player. Yeah, let's have her recycle 1, because her cards are not the best. Okay, we'll get rid of that one. This is going to let us increase our rhythm by 1. And we're doing 2 minus 1, 1 damage, which is all we need for a wound. Great. Now we're going to play this. That lets us draw a card, then discard a card. Oh, when I played this, too, we would get another rhythm, because we discarded. I'm going to discard this card. So that's going to be another rhythm. We've maxed out on rhythm. Now, if we were to get another rhythm, instead, we would draw a card. Once we've maxed out our rhythm, we can just draw another card. And now we want to do this. Call of the Primordials. We have to discard 2 for that, so we'll do that. That has 2 stamina there. And we got our Resonance. Boom. So we're going to increase the damage of this that this attack does by 1, unfortunately. So it's going to be 3 minus 1, 2. But we get to do it twice. So that's going to be 4. Just chipping away. Now I'm not so sure what to do. I'm going to hold on to these 2 cards. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll get a token. We have to do attrition. So that's 1. And then I've got to do a second one. And here we go. When the attrition deck runs out, they get 2 struggle. So that's going to be 6 struggle. When they get 6 struggle, they attack us. So we're each going to get a damage. So actually that 1 stays out. And we shuffle. And these go away. One and 1. So we're protected. Beautiful. Then at the end of attrition, this goes off. Crushing Horns. If Tarragua suffered damage this turn, each player in the front and flank sectors suffers damage unless they reveal 2 green cards from their hand. Okay, there we go. She doesn't suffer. But he does. Shuffle this. Okay, she has to move. Okay, she'll pay that. Move to the flank. So we'll go... well, actually, let's do this first. Let's draw. Nope. Yeah, we'll do this. Precise step. Gonna get that aggro. Then we're gonna do Guardian's Reach. So this is increasing it by 2. 6 minus 1, 5 damage. Can Drusk assist? He can. Yeah, okay. Drusk will assist. So that'll let her draw 1 card. Oh, wait. But before that happens, boom. Gotta do this. Okay, she's going to turn to the active player. That player may immediately move. I don't want to move. Focus defense. We'll discard that. It's draw 1, or if we have an aggro, we can draw 2. So let's draw 2. So I think this is a situation where we're going to taunt. That's going to let the active player draw a card. They're going to take the aggro, and the monster immediately turns. That's going to be good because now I can play Sentinel's Lunge. And I can discard this that has 2 on it. Yeah. I'm going to get the aggro back. Unfortunately, we don't get to add any of that, but we will get to do 4 damage. Plus 1, 5 damage. So 5 minus 1 is 4. And what do we add here? 9. So that's going to get us to 13 again. Okay, cool, cool. 1 away. And can't do anything. We're going to have to keep that card. So that's all we could do. It's attrition time. The 1, and we're covered, so that's good. And now we have that. If Tarragua suffered damage this turn, each player in the front and flank sectors suffers unless they reveal 2 green. Neither of us can do that. Yep, can't do anything about that. We're each taking a damage. Oops, that's 5. Turn. And have to do this one. Hammertail. Each player in the rear, no one there. In the flank, you have to reveal 1 green. And you can't do that. So that's another damage. Now she has to shuffle her deck, so that's going to be a damage. Now it's the end of the round, so I guess that goes off too? Boy. Indomitable charge. Each player in the front sector suffers... unless they can reveal 2. Well, we got a new hand of cards, but we did not get any green. So we're taking 2 damage. I don't think we have any way of stopping this. Nope, no way of stopping this. So yeah, I'm taking 2 more, so that's going to be 10. I have 1 health left. Okay. And that is the end of the round. She's getting first player. Uh-oh. And this is not looking good. We're going to skip consume, go straight to monster upkeep. Gets 3 put on there. Now at the beginning of Zaraya's turn, that goes off. And the rampage. Okay, metal skin. This is going to increase their shield value till the end of this turn. I think we need to stop that. So because of this, we can play a red card. We discard it. That keeps this effect from happening, and they become vulnerable. And this backlash says that when we discard this, we draw 1. Then the rampage. Okay, getting 1 struggle. 5 struggle, very close to attacking, which would kill Zaraya. Oh, and that's going to happen right now, isn't it? Because we have to shuffle this. That's going to be... Yep, that's going to be 6. Yep, that's going to be 2, so that's going to be death here. And because we're in round 5, that's going to be doubled. So now Drusk is 1 away from dying as well. Oh my god. Okay, so let's go through the KO'd steps. And actually, we should remove this so that so they still have 2. I think last time I removed all of it, but they keep 2 struggle. So she is KO'd. We pass the aggro token. Discard your hand of cards. Ugh, I was about to do something really cool, too. Add a wound card. All right, then the monster is going to turn to the aggro player. That's going to trigger this. Hammertail. Each player in the rear sector, no. Each threatened player in the flank sectors, and no. So Drusk stays alive. Oh, I was about to do something really cool. We were about to get to the 3rd stance there, and then I had an attack card that would have caused a wound. Had a lot of cool stuff. Unfortunately, she goes down, and now our only chance is for Drusk to revive her. I just realized that we're doomed because Drusk only has 3 cards here. And so, yeah, if he even plays 1 card, then that's going to be a loss because he'll die. So he basically can't play a card. Now here's the thing. I think his turn starts and then that goes off, right? I believe so. Spidery Grasp. The active player becomes dazed and skips their movement phase this turn unless another player in either the same sector or adjacent discards a thing. Okay. We've become dazed. Okay, so when you're dazed, the next time you play a blue maneuver card in your sequence, discard the dazed token. And consider that card to be blank. I see. But worst of all, we have to skip our movement phase. And then the active player suffers damage unless they reveal a number of green cards from their hand equal to the current attrition level. Well, we don't have a green card, so that's actually it. That's going to be 1 damage, but doubled because we're in round 5. That's 2, that's 10, and they get KO'd. Oh, we were really, really close. If she had been able to have her turn, she was going to move using a card that would let Drusk do his weapon damage, which would have been 1, which would have gotten us to the next stance. And then I was going to attack. Because of the double, that would have caused another wound, so he would have been on 2, and then I think I could have done it even again and got him on 1 wound. So if she had had her turn, it would have been awesome. But either way, that gives you a great idea of how these characters play and how the new biomes work. If you're interested in checking out these new expansions or even just getting into the game for the first time, click on the link in the description below to go to Reggie Games' website. Check out Primal Friday. But there you go, that's going to do it for me. I'd like to thank all of the financial supporters of Totally Tabled, including the totally radical Dr. Casey, Hextra, Mitch Fisher, John Kohler, Scott Myers, and Jay Satterwhite, as well as the totally bodacious Jeremy Robertson. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can join on YouTube or my Patreon at www.patreon.com/totallytabled. You'll gain access to my new exclusive podcast, Table Talk, as well as unboxing videos and whatever extra stuff I come up with. As always, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.